The connection is in excellent condition.
Ooh, show off.
I know.
That's a good sign.
That is a good sign.
That's what she said, isn't it?
That's good news. So now we're just waiting for chat to hear us. Technically, kind of behind the curtain, maybe.
I've got good news for you. The connection is in excellent condition. Thank you very much. I've got a new razor.
You're not used to it then?
I saw a great comment today on a thing I was watching. Somebody said it was an accusation against a young person. They said you might be a Labour supporter now. you wait till you're married and you've got a job. That really made me laugh even more. I was like, oh yeah, it wears off.
That's true.
Give it a little while.
That's what they say, isn't it?
And human compassion just it wears off.
No, that is what they say. They say if you're a Tory before you're 30, you've got no heart. If you're a left wing when you're over 30, you've got no brain.
Oh,
yes.
I like the fact no matter which way you are, you're fucked.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's always the way.
Yeah. So I wonder. They haven't said they can hear us yet, which is always.
No, we've got. Who have we got? Bob, Stuart, Mick, Paul, John, Vapors, Capers.
Oh, Peter can hear us.
Oh, can he?
Can you? Oh, yeah.
Hey all, you are
Hello,
live.
Peter.
I like the way you made that really weird. Like nobody else can see us. It's only Peter. Hello, Peter.
Only Peter.
They're making this for you. Yeah. We're everyone else in chat. That would be wicked.
Yeah. Oh, Russell Blair's in.
Oh.
Brad's out of prison. That's a callback to last week's show.
Yeah. Thank you to the Ohmies for posting bail.
Yeah, no.
Okay, they can definitely hear us. Shall we
definitely hear us, yeah.
You can't do fuck all with 40p these days, bro.
Shall we roll the intro?
Do it!
Okay.
We can't hear the intro.
Yeah.
We can't hear the intro, we can't hear it.
We don't even know. We don't know if it exists.
Bring up the phone or something and just mute.
I've done that, yeah.
We are literally live right now. We are live. Chapter 28 of the new Ohm Show. Welcome. Thank you for tuning in. What a belter of a show we've got for you tonight. I can tell you from being on the Zoom call beforehand, John is in fine form. Yep. I don't know how else to say that.
I delayed the start.
More rabbit than Tesco. Yep, so John's here. We've got the brilliant Keith as well.
Yeah.
Hello.
Special guest Morgantium Vapes. Keith is with us, long time Ohmie. Top fella, and he's with us as well. And Brad's with us as well. Brad's drinking wine. He's just adding that classy touch that's badly
Yeah, I like
needed.
it.
Just finishing the bottle of a...
Oh, I like that. Keith's got a glass. Keith's got just that Nick glass as well.
Hey. So yeah, loads of stuff. New stuff. News.
I will say, Keith's doing
chat.
his little bit. He's doing his bit for charity tonight because he's drinking Green King. I did see that. Thanks, man. Thanks for supporting him.
Yeah,
no one else will.
It's
only 9 miles away from me, but I don't want it.
Yeah, no.
Also, don't forget, later on, we've got one of Brad's reviews.
Oh my
Feature
god!
introduced a few weeks ago. Brad's going to be looking at something vape related and giving us his take. So that's a good thing.
Reviews about something you didn't know you didn't need.
Ooh, we can't tell what it is because he's hiding it with his hand. So that's the thing. Good to see everyone in chat. Dave, Stuart, Keith, John, Andy, Jibby, Dave, Sparky, Russell, Cuz. I've seen Ali and Mark Todd in there as well. So all good. Good to see everyone in chat. Thank you for tuning in. Smash that like button. Switch it to live chat at the top so you don't miss anything. And should we crack on? We might as well crack on. John.
Hello, mate.
What are you vaping and what are you drinking? Next.
That's fine. I'm vaping crack current. Sorry, I'm going to swap. I tell you what, next week I'll be vaping a new one from Mr. Selby of Cactus Punch. He's made a new one. I'll be vaping that.
Must be bored.
But this week, I'm vaping crack current in the Dwar 22 on top of the Inakin NVP5. I've got 2 internal batteries going at the moment. They're just because they're handy, because they're both USB-C.
Yeah.
So fast.
Same as your phone.
Yep. This little bugger here, which is the Vapresso GTX1 with the VAR 16 on top, that goes from I got it from 12% to full in 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Earlier, and it lasts a day. It's ridiculous. So yeah. Oh, they're both 50 milligram because I don't know. I'm not in the step down program.
Didn't you even run the shop till via that mod this week?
I ran the PayPal reader off this mod because it's got a charge, an output on the bottom, and so I can put it in my pocket, run it to the PayPal reader, and then go to the door and serve somebody.
That's exactly what Inakin were hoping you'd do.
And I did it.
And now they've got all those numbers.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Such a dip. We haven't opened the shop this week yet because it's just too spicy. I'm just not sure. I've got a load of hand sanitizer coming in so that people can hand sanitize on their way in and their way out.
Spicy's the right word, I think.
It's a bit dodgy, isn't it? So
A good one.
And I'm drinking, because I'm putting it in the glass now, OG Hazy by Brewdog, because the incredible Mick Shoyer sent this to me. I have a bit of a John and Nori with it, because it's quite funny. The door banged earlier out of the shop, unlocked it, stuck my head out, and there was a woman in the car with her teenage son. And she went, "You all right? I came yesterday, you weren't in." And I said, "Oh, sorry, no." And she said, "I rung your number. You put the wrong number." And I said, I didn't. And she said, "No, it's the wrong number." And I said, "Oh, I'm not denying that. I'm denying it's my number because I didn't know this was coming." Somebody just very kindly has obviously sent me a gift. I don't know who it's from yet. And she said, "Well, it's the wrong number." And I went, "Well, it's relative, isn't it?" Yeah. And then I said, "Thank you very much." And then she left. Yeah, I think I'm confused. I don't think I've ever tried OG Jane. OG, it's not G, Jane. What did I have the other day? What's the one that's called something Donkey by Brewdog?
Donkey.
It's not a hazy.
No, it's not hazy. What's the one what's their session?
Donkey.
What's their session?
Oh, Dead Pony.
Dead Pony.
Dead Pony.
Dead Pony.
I fucking hate
Kind
it.
of like a donkey.
So boring.
That's what it's for.
But it's piss boring. I don't understand the point of drinking it. It doesn't taste of anything at all.
That's the point of.
I was
Dead
going
Pony.
to be so sexist with my response, but I'm going to just sit back and be quiet.
I just think just give it some flavour for fuck's sake. It's got not much alcohol, so give it a go. I bought their alcohol free and that at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
Dead Pony, and the alcohol free is better than Dead Pony.
Yep.
It's actually alcohol free's got something to do it. Anyway, that's what I'm doing. Keith, what are you vaping?
Yes.
What are you drinking?
At the moment, I'm drinking Bellhaven 80 shilling, but it came in that Green King selection pack.
You wait till you get that treat that is Green
Oh,
King
no.
IPA.
I gave that to my son. I wasn't
Yeah.
drinking that.
Good effort. I would have as well.
I was like, "Adam, would you like a glass of Green King?" He's like, "Yeah, okay." I was like, "No." But it was like, what else is there? There's Old Speckled Hen, Ruddle's Best, Old Golden Hen, and East Coast IPA, which is Green King.
Yeah.
It sounds like a collection of stuff you wouldn't want to drink.
No.
It's not that bad. It's in a
No,
box.
there's
It's one of the boxes.
A few
they
of
do.
those I like.
The only one that I wanted was the Bellhaven 80 shilling because that's what I usually drink up in Scotland, or if I usually get that delivered down from Scotland to me, the 80 shilling. So that would be my sort of session beer. But I did have 3 bottles of Asahi Japanese beer before,
Oh, well played. That's a nice beer as well.
Asahi's
Oh,
nice.
sorry.
It's a lovely
do
beer.
like
If you're in a restaurant and they've got it on, I don't. Tiger's fizzy piss. I don't really like it, but I like that Asahi.
I love Asahi.
Asahi properly chilled is a good lager.
Yeah, it's good. Great.
Very nice. And what I'm vaping, well, I've got the Dwarf 24DL on top of the new Cthulhu Pasteur 88 watt mod that Mag's got with my
Nice
birthday.
combo.
Very nice combo.
Nice. We've
Yeah, it was your
talked a lot
birthday.
about that mod. I'm keen to see it.
Yeah, hold it up.
The screen is super bright. I mean,
Yeah, I like
really
it.
bright. It's
I
a
like
really nice bit of kit. Very heavy. This is aviation aluminium and solid 304 stainless steel.
Okay. That was one of our
Yes.
questions every time we saw pictures of it, was whether that black portion was anodized metal or injection molded Delrin.
No, it's aviation aluminium. It's really well put together, really pretty. But yeah, the screen's a little too bright.
But I prefer a too bright, because too dim's useless. But if you're outside, like
Yeah, it's
you
better
can't
that
see
way
shit.
around.
Oh yeah, in the sun, it was fantastic in the sun. Yeah, but
And you can use it as a torch at night.
oh no, I've got that for that.
Yeah,
Ah, bollocks. So all three of you are using this thing now.
Yeah.
I feel like the sore thumb.
so I'll send
Right,
it.
so I've got the MVP 5 and I've got the Nautilus GT on top.
Oh right, nice. Are you getting on with that?
Not bad actually. It's good to be using that for work. Between the MVP 5 and the Nautilus GT, but the one that's got me through lockdown, the one I use all the time, is this little Sigelli Snowwolf, the K thing with the mark tank on top. 2500 milliamp hour built-in battery, lasts all day long. It's ideal for work, and it's small.
What coil have you got with the GTX? Which one would you go with?
The
Nautilus. Which coil did you go with?
It's the 0.7 mesh.
He's the man.
Yeah,
that's the
that's the
coil.
one.
Yeah,
That's
It's the
0.7
coil.
mesh.
It's where they got it all right. The 0.7.
Yeah, it's so nice. So yeah, that's my. And I've also got my SVB half hybrid bronze, half skull.
Nice.
Nigel Moxon.
Oh yeah, SVB.
Very nice. Saw the engraving on that in your review. It looked bloody awesome.
I don't know, Lake's picking it up, but no, it's,
Yeah, I can see it on the side. Yeah, yeah. He's really going to town with the engraving now, isn't he? He's doing some massive engraving jobs. He sends them off to be done, though, doesn't he? I think.
Yeah, I think it's Tim. Is it Slammer Mod UK
That's
that
right.
does
That's
them?
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, they do the engraving for him. But some of the new work, there's one we got last week with a lion engraved onto the door. It was absolutely stunning. Beautiful piece of work.
It was the one thing I said in my review for the SVB, that it was such a nice, everything about it functionally perfect. It could just do with something on the thing, and he was already planning to do that. It's just mine one was a plain one, and I think it's the finishing touch, isn't it? And I suppose it lets everyone have a unique one, I guess, doesn't it? Which is
So
nice
many
touch as
designs you
well.
can get.
Yeah.
I love the Stormtrooper one, the white Stormtroopers he does. Oh, they're real nice bits of kit.
I remember when he gave up on the Stormtrooper before.
Yeah.
Very stressed out.
He didn't like me after that because I sent him a message every week saying Stormtrooper, 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 until eventually he reminded me to bugger off.
Oh.
Okay, then, so do I pass it on now? So,
Yeah, stick it over.
Richard, what are you
Aye, aye.
vaping? What are you drinking?
Okie dokie. I am first drinking this. This is a Tsingtao.
Oh, nice.
Bloody hell.
Chinese lager.
It's actually not that bad.
Yeah, it's the Chinese Budweiser. But
It's certainly better than
better
the
than
swill
that.
you normally drink.
yeah, I worked as a student. After McDonald's, I worked in a Chinese restaurant for a bit, and I got into Tsingtao then. It's made with rice hop, as opposed to your traditional, and I like it. I just like it. It's fresh. It's clean.
I really like the idea of you getting into that bit. Like, can Richard do a couple of tables? Ah, he's fucked. He's in the kitchen.
Yeah, because we used to.
Throwing stuff up.
Because of my
Alcoholism.
ethnicity,
Oh, right.
I was resigned to mainly bar work.
Okay.
Because you couldn't read the menu.
Yeah. No, we were allowed to drink while serving. It was kind of created kind of a bar atmosphere.
It was. Well, having worked behind a bar, I used to work with people and they would drink like ridiculous. I know. And you go, what are you drinking? It's just a quadruple Bacardi and Coke. Is it? The fuck is that?
Yeah. That's when I found that drink, and I like it. It's nice. It's not spectacular. It's nice. After that, I'm gonna have this Dancing Beer from Magic Rock. It's a German lager. Well, it's a tribute to a German lager. I mean, it's in no way German, but
so assuming it's a Pilsner then.
Yeah, in essence. Yeah. In essence.
That's better. I prefer a Pilsner to a lager. Personally.
Yeah, definitely Pilsner all day.
Dry.
Like Carlsberg, you mean?
No, I like Varsager in German. Yeah, it's really nice.
It's not. It's a nice. It's not that bad. It's nice. I like it. It's nice.
Stuart's going to tell me if I said that correctly. Stuart Drummond, because
that's what he does.
I'm going to go with Varsager.
Vaping on some new stuff this evening. I have the Arcless V2 mech. I was a big fan of the V1, still use the V1, still my favourite cloudy mech, and they've done a V2 now. So I really like it. I think it's...
That's the kind of tactical looking one, right?
Yes, but you can change the sleeves.
Because you weren't sure, were you?
Yeah, well, not from the pictures, but now I've got it. Yes, you can change the sleeves and the buttons as well. So
that's very tactical now.
So yes, but this is how it comes if you just buy it as is. So now I have that, and I really like that. Some interesting tweaks to it for a V2. The main thing is it's all copper inside now. I know the cloudy people are bothered about that, aren't they?
Are the threads copper as well? Then?
Yes.
See, I'm in the middle of that because it's very easy to bump them.
Yes, but if you're gonna go the copper route, you need to do the threads really though, don't you? Because it's a massive part of the chain.
I agree. It's just that I'm a clumsy twat, I'll buckle the threads definitely.
Yeah, I did that with a Nemesis.
Yeah, I did it with a Stingray.
I did it with my Stingray as well. Yeah.
Once again, I'm the only one in the room who's coordinated, and I haven't crossed threads on nothing.
It wasn't crossing. It was dropping. If you drop the mod, it fucked it. Yeah, it wasn't cross thread. You'd know if you were doing it, but if you drop it, it was fucked.
So that in there, I've got cactus custard.
Oh,
absolutely delicious.
You're a custard. Yeah, you are.
I tried this when it just came out at an expo. I was handled an unmarked bottle of it, and I thought.
I like the fact you got on it, because if you get on it early, it's got a very almost like Pop Rocks kind of taste to it, and then it mellows into a custard as it goes dark because you've got it and it's fresh.
Yeah, I've had it a week or two though. I gave it a week or two. So that's that. This is new in a way. I went to my office where I'm supposed to work for the first time in 3 months, and there was a couple of vape mail items there, and one of them was this. This is the Kylin M from Vandy Vape. We did talk about this. It did come up as a new thing on the thing. It's the most interesting thing about it is that it's a rebuildable at heart and the stock coil second, whereas most AIOs they do the RBA as an afterthought, whereas this was always specifically you've got your steel rods in there.
All right. Okay.
And it's an RDTA at heart really, but you can use a stock coil. And I thought as well, so basically I hadn't been to the office 3 months, so a couple of things were there. I don't know, it could have been months they've been there, but so it's new to me today. I thought you could only, if you wanted to use the rebuilding aspect of it, I thought you had to use mesh. You don't. You can use a normal coil.
Oh, okay, cool.
So I've got a nice little coil in there.
We'll agree. I can't see shit.
No. But that's a thing. In basic theory of this I like as an idea, as a mod. Big, load of juice in there, Clapton coil on top. But the second you introduce these steel wicks, I get a bit apprehensive about cranking the watts.
If you get, I agree. If you get a dry hit, it's bad. But if you get it right, it'll never do it.
I really loved it on the early Typhons where the steel rope sent the juice down.
Oh yeah, that was good.
But on all these tanks that all the Germans like, where the juice goes up the steel, I don't know.
Oh, you'd love a what was the Orion? No, that's not right. Origin. They did two with the wicks down.
Yes.
That was probably the last thing they ever did, actually. Wicks down.
Yeah, those ones are cool. That totally works. I mean, the GS was spectacular. Anyway.
Oh, what happened to Origin now? Another one. Fucking awesome.
Can't remember what juice I put in there. In this, I'm on my last coil of this Freemax mod. If anyone did see the review and saw the negatives, Freemax did actually get back to me. This is a sample version, not the production version. They are looking at the door, and they are looking at what.
Tell him it's a sample version, and then just tell him that.
Hey, what can I do? What can I do? So yeah, they literally commented on the video saying that. But even though I'd already emailed them 3 days anyway, so that's the thing. So they might be fixing the door. They're looking at some board tweaks as well. In there is Sweet Pea.
Oh yeah. Available. How long do you leave that? That's 2 weeks minimum.
No, I've had that a while. I've had that.
Ages.
Oh,
good. You really need to knock that down.
No, I've had that ages. I do it on past experience, and if not, colour.
Yeah, the Sweet Pea, you want to leave it. It's the only. I'm not really one for aging. I'm not calling it that word, but yeah, it does need a little weight.
Excuse me, I forgot to say. I forgot to tell you what I was vaping juice-wise.
Oh yeah, you didn't.
Yeah,
go for it.
Just realised that I completely forgot. Sorry, Richard.
I'm done now.
Even your wife has told us in chat what she's vaping.
Yeah.
She's on the lychee by Cactus Punch.
She is. Yeah, I think she's ordering more tonight. Actually, I've got the Nata in the dwarf with the Cthulhu. I've got the Nata framboise.
Perfect.
Raspberry.
The raspberry.
The raspberry, yeah.
Nice. Frambosa.
How many watts are you vaping at with the DL?
Well, I've been mucking around because I've been trying out the temperature control with this. So I built a titanium build this morning.
Oh, okay.
Tried it in titanium. It was fine. I'm currently using stainless steel flat wire 316, and I'm at 260 degrees.
Oh, right.
Because I was having a lot of issues with the dwarf. It was literally, I don't know whether it was an airflow problem, but it was burning the cotton out halfway through.
Oh,
and I was having major issues with the dwarf and getting really sort of fed up with it.
It's a minimal wick thing.
Yeah,
you've got to get it flush to those, and that's it. Flush to the inlets, and then don't do a fold. Don't nip it back or it'll fuck up.
So I thought I'll try it with the stainless steel, see how I get on, and that's been since about 6:30. And I've filled it up 3 times since, and it's been fine.
Yeah,
at 260 degrees. So yeah,
that's great.
Hang on,
that's a really good idea to use temp control with the dwarf as well.
Since 6:30, you filled up a dwarf mouth to lungs 3 times.
No,
direct to lung.
Direct lung.
I was just going to say, holy crap! How are you doing that?
That's what my wife does. She goes through juice really quick, mouth to lung. In this, I'm running the King's Creams raspberry from Malton, Yorkshire, and in my little in the little K-Fang, I always use the King's Creams off the rails, which is like a cinnamon banana toasted with cream.
Oh, nice! I like it.
It's a definite theme. Definite theme.
Yeah, we're seeing a pattern.
I like the fact that you had some juices there. My pet bugbear, just as a liquid maker and supplier, is puns, sexual. Like when they're two, but they're not even a pun. You know, like
just
someone
a sexual innuendo.
Not even that. One was called "cum" a little while ago.
Yeah.
Like, where the fuck does it end if you call liquid cum?
Yeah, I saw one called "Sex We."
Yeah, like what the fuck? It's nothing.
You'll never guess the flavour.
I'm gonna go with grapefruit. I don't know why.
No, you
M&M.
can't.
Banana split.
But we'll make that a competition one week. I'm not even going to tell people what.
Someone gonna Google it,
Yeah,
Richard.
Google it, sex. Oh, yeah.
They will. They'll just Google it. Brad, what are you vaping? What are you drinking?
Right. Well, I finished.
When the fuck did you become fucking bush tucker man? You went right. Okay, mate. I'm eating a fucking dingo.
A dingo ate me baby. I have
remember that
finished my
film.
wine, which is why I'm so fucking jolly.
Mm.
And I'm now on to the Brewdog.
Elvis juice.
You're doing it the wrong way around. It's beer,
No,
then
see,
wine.
I saved this just so that I could crack it for the camera and deafen anyone who's watching, listening with headphones.
It didn't work.
Like us.
I will try harder with this one later.
What have you got? Is that mango on the run?
No, this is the pale ale
Pale ale. Okay.
for when Elvis leaves the building. I am vaping on several things for a change.
We're just gonna have to do tumbleweed for you.
No, I liked it. It's good. It's very witty.
Old Faithful is still in the picture with the dwarf mouth lung. I don't have to fill this up 3 times an evening.
Yeah, dwarf heavy though that way tonight.
We are quite dwarf strong this evening. I am still using it's not the small, what's this one? The extra. The small has found its way into my bag and into the pocket as a out the house. This has found its way to my bedside, to next to the TV, to my favorite thing about this one is the little airflow hole. If you bung a tiny, teeny little bit of cotton in there, you get a proper mouth delay.
Yeah.
In
And
what?
you get in the
Ah.
the airflow hole in the pod. Banged a tiny piece of cotton in there, and in all of my Zoom meetings and Zoom interviews and pitches and all
Don't
the shit
rely
I
on
did
it,
this
though.
week.
I tell you what, you'll go on holiday and you'll knock the bit of cotton out, and then you'll be fucked because I've done that. I had one with a hole to do it.
But the purpose of this is not to go on holiday. The purpose of this is I've been vaping in Zoom meetings.
Oh right, and pretending
And
not to.
It's kicked the quantity of vapor down. So I'm just there sitting, and no one's the wiser.
That's good. I like it.
When you need to get through a 2-3 hour long Zoom meeting without vaping, and quite frankly, I can't. Little sneaky tip for you. The final one, and in all of this is Cactus Jackie, which, by the way, John, pretty please.
Message me.
Please. I'm dying.
Yeah, message me tomorrow and I'll sort it out.
If it wasn't for the 2 mil, 1.8 mil, and 1.6 mil capacity on these tanks, I'd already be dry. The final one, which I'll give you a little, what are we calling the segment? Brad's shit reviews?
Just Brad's reviews.
No, but they're not reviews. They're shit reviews about
That's
shit
everybody's
Yeah, but that's
reviews.
kind of-
That's what the point is. You're the everyman.
We're on the Vaping V1CK channel now, Brad. It's kind of just
fair,
accepted.
okay. Well, this is shit reviewed. No, shit you didn't know you didn't need.
Okay.
Yeah. And I can't pronounce it for the love of money. Marsupod.
Marsupod. Yeah, it's like a play on marsupial.
All right.
Marsupial. It's a gimmick. I know it's a gimmick, but that brings me so much joy.
Yeah, that is good.
Just let's move out the frame so people can see.
I remember watching Richard's review, but does it feel cheap? That's what I remember from Richard's review.
Yeah, incredible.
Are we going straight into the review now?
I think that's what he's doing. Oh no, let's hold it. Let's leave him.
The plan was to hold it till
Good.
later.
Tease
Make
them.
people wait.
Bit of foreplay.
Yes, tease us.
There's something coming. Right, that is me.
Good.
Drink,
Good. It's
vape.
past.
Everyone's answered.
Oh, not bad. That was pretty good.
Time for news, John.
Weirdly, this broke just after we're going to go for California, Richard. California.
All right. Okay.
We did our live show last Thursday, and then this broke on Friday, because it wasn't sort of in the air that I knew of, but I caught it off Nick, Mr. Grim Green. I saw him on Instagram doing it. So it was the second time trying to get the vaping ban through the state legislator. So the headline is second try legislation to ban smokeless tobacco products passes Senate approps. In May, California Globe reported on a bill to ban flavored tobacco, but it was evident there would need to be amendments. But the amendments weren't good. The amendments were because they'd sort of forgotten about snus, and they'd forgotten about chewing tobacco, which they didn't want on the bill, because it was flavoured smokeless tobacco product. So what they've done, so it's passed Senate, but it does need to be signed off, but it looks like it's going to go through, that all flavours except for tobacco are going to be banned in California, which would include 0 milligram. It includes, just because I know we always get asked this in chat, so let me just say it as it is. This will include VG, PG. It includes batteries. Fuck knows how you flavour a battery, but you can't. But and it will include shots as well. Flavour shots. They are banned. They are counted 0 milligram nicotine, but it's still a nicotine product. That would be flavoured nicotine product. But yeah.
It's cigars as well, isn't it, John?
Yeah, it's cigar. Yeah, it is. But if they're flavoured, yes.
Yeah, apparently there's a big scene in California and LA for all the fancy cigars, flavoured cigars.
Flavour. I can't imagine a flavoured cigar.
What's happened in other states is that's been
cigar.
in the bill until the last hour.
Oh, and then take it
and
out.
then they cross those out and then get it passed.
Which is looking likely that's what's going to happen. Anyway, I think they're going to take out a few things. I think, well, there was a couple of things. Snus and chewing tobacco look like they're going to be taken out. It looks like the cigars going to be taken out as well. Here we go.
They're going to leave flavoured batteries in.
Sorry, that was just because they've counted them as tobacco products. They're unflavoured, so they're okay, but they are still under the legislation of America, which is demented.
I know that, but now I can't get the thought of the great flavoured 9-volt battery out of my mind. Like, ooh.
They're tangy.
Yeah,
that's what we know about a 9-volt battery. Every boy, every male in the world knows a 9-volt is tangy.
Tangy and citrusy.
Yeah, it's a grapefruit flavour.
This was the ending paragraph as a quote. I introduced Senate Bill 38 to protect young people from the dangerous health risks of tobacco products in any form, and to prevent another generation from being addicted to nicotine, said Senator Hill in a statement last year about his previous bill to ban smokeless tobacco products. The aim was to prohibit tobacco products with fruit, candy and other flavours that entice young people, no proof, from being sold in stores. The amendments imposed on the bill erode those protections by creating unnecessary, harmful exemptions. This is talking about the exemptions we talked about. Senator Hill withdrew 38 because of lack of support, which is what he did in May, and then he put it back in on Friday last week, and it passed. I know if you want to see the ins and outs of this, go over to Grim Green's YouTube channel, because he's Nick is an advocate for all things vape related. As far as I know, he's in California, isn't he?
Yep.
So he's got a hell of a fight in his hands, and I know he feels very let down by the whole system, because I think lots of us fight in our own jobs. And I used to, when I was in management meetings in previous jobs, when I got sent a letter of refusal for planning or something like that, I'd always look for, this is proper twat speak, I'd always look for a rung, like on a ladder. I'd look for a ladder rung to see where their mistake was. And their mistake always was naming why they said no, because that was where, that was the weak point, and to attack that weak point. But when you don't, if their reasoning was invalid, there's no wrong. You are fucked, because you can't argue with somebody who isn't talking any sense. It doesn't make you can't tell them facts because they're not interested in facts. So we'll see.
The lack of logic that buys them the falsehood of strength.
Sasha's in. Go on, sorry, Karen.
I was just going to say, it should go nowhere at all.
Sasha's in chat, and he says something that has come up again and again previously. In theory, can you make tobacco flavour with a hint of whatever? No, it doesn't seem like there's any wriggle room within that.
No, it's tobacco.
I'll tell you what I've been getting for the last 2 weeks, though. See if I can put this up on screen. Me and other reviewers have been getting these kind of things.
You're going to have to explain it.
Yes, don't worry. These kind of things all week. So this is D-Kiss from Decang, and it's a filter tip. And it's a filter to put on your vape, and the juice can be whatever, and the filter has menthol in it. And there's various potential solutions like this floating around.
Isn't it sad that we've got to that?
So workarounds have been thought about, but when the people that actually bothered to ban menthol vapes get a wind of these, they'll ban these as well. I might be a temporary workaround, but it's going to be crap. I mean, do you want your vape to go through a filter?
No.
Also, it is talk of special drip tips. So 510 drip tips that are sort of laced in some way, or just the sense of it, I guess, and they won't last forever type thing.
What a brilliant money maker though, because you can just charge per unit, which has always been the problem, and it has always been that. When we started Just at Nick, it was a fight against this kind of shit, getting charged per unit and getting charged per 10 mil. When the TPD came in and people were trying to think around the TPD, the amount of accusations that were flying around within the vaping community were absolutely huge. Oh, is this, you're trying to turn a profit? You're literally trying to get you 100 mils, you fucking idiot. Because I've been doing this for a long time and I know what they can get you for if they pull this off. And they're going to be fucked.
John Malcolm in chat, putting a tree ball extra strong mint in your mouth will have the same effect. Probably, pretty much. That's pretty much.
I used to do that with the Benson sometimes. A bit of extra peppermint.
You're such a rebel. You're such a rebel.
Smoke a fag at the same time.
Can't
we just ban people like menthol? I've got this is. I think I've got a flashback for May. Yeah, this is it. Flashback to May. Inverse.com. Right, it's a shitty study, but there was a reason for the shitty study. Right, so this was actually on the 25th of May, and I missed it because it wasn't showing up. I've got to get my hands ready for inverted commas. Vaping creates a slime cloak in the mouth in record time. Experiment shows. That's quite good to use the. Remember, that wasn't a plural. That was experiment. So this is a very shitty study.
You've got to read the subtitle.
Some Bellend. Vaping may induce a whole host of different diseases than what we have been used to seeing with smoking. What a brilliant... I see where you're coming to read that. It's beautiful.
Love it.
Give you the opening paragraph. The yellowing, unhealthy composition of the smoker's mouth is one of the less attractive consequences of smoking cigarettes. There are more attractive consequences, they're implying.
Oh, yeah.
One of them
get women easy.
You look fucking awesome. We all know that.
Yeah, you do look cool when you smoke.
Basic instinct.
Yeah,
that's all you have to say.
That's why I never wear knickers, ever. New study suggests the mouths of vapors might be at risk. While discoloured gums or teeth may not be on the list of top concerns for people who vape, they do have bacterial slime cloaks to consider. We really don't. So the study is an absolute piece of shit, and there's no proof in it at all. They claim to have found a huge number of bacteria in people's mouths. There is a huge number of bacteria in everybody's mouths right now. There is an issue with this, though. The issue that I saw right near the end.
They didn't use mouths.
They didn't use mouths. They did use mouths in the study, but they used a very limited amount of mouths in the study.
They used
that's nitpicking.
mouths.
Oh no, I'm not going for that. That's not where the Achilles heel of this study is. The Achilles heel is very different. So, what they found is that it heightens levels of certain bacteria in your mouth through VG and BG cause a bacterial change in your mouth, that's no concern at all. But the concern becomes, let me just try to find it. When bacterial communities were exposed to aerosols without nicotine, the team found that the film tends to spread, which suggests that another ingredient in the aerosol was spurring the action. Propylene glycol and glycerol are sugar alcohols, which may act like nutritional sources for the bacteria looking to form biofilms, the team proposes. It's basically shit. They argue that their work identifies propylene glycol and glycol as the key catalyst behind structural changes to a vapor's microbiome, though the evidence is indirect at this point. The issue becomes, this is my problem. Right, they can identify whether somebody's a vapor or not by checking this, but then insurance is what I got from this was I was like, shit. If you claim on your insurance, if you've got life insurance, and your life insurance broker or your life insurance provider defines vaping as smoking, and you've claimed you're a non-smoker, they could check. Mm-hmm. That is the worth in the study. Nicotine is so readily absorbed and so readily powered through in your body that it's very difficult to change. People talk about total shit like blood tests when you're dead, which I always think is really funny. Yeah, they don't do that. They're not allowed to do that. They wouldn't get the result like that. They wouldn't check for nicotine in any way, shape.
I can interject and say,
go.
with your estate's permission, they can, and
right.
From a results point of view, they can.
If it's quick enough, it'd have to be very quick.
12 months.
They can find nicotine in blood up to 12 months after the person's dead.
They don't test for nicotine. They test for cotinine, which is a side effect from absorption.
No. Sorry. Wait. We've got to define this. Hold on.
That's not the point anyway.
Okay,
the point is...
No, there is a point.
The point is this study is completely disregarded, like so many biased studies in the past, that they're not comparing against a smoker. A smoker is completely obliterating their mouth.
Richard,
there isn't a smoker on the planet that doesn't have gum disease.
They've obliterated every bit of sense at all. If you drink Coke, you would have a problem. There's loads of problems with that. But I was actually just going to define what Brad was saying. Right, we need to get to this. But so we're not looking for nicotine in the buzzroom. We're looking for
cotinine.
But how long would cotinine stay in the buzzroom after the last time you vape? Not 12 months, because you're going from 12 months because you'd be fucking dead. But I don't mean that.
If you're alive, 12 months. If you're dead,
12 months
in your blood.
How the fuck? You could eat a tomato.
A tomato doesn't release the quantity of cotinine that they test for.
Okay.
There's a threshold for cotinine. Tomato will release nicotine and cotinine in your blood, but the thresholds are incredibly low.
Okay, let's change it. If you had a health insurer and at work, and you were being insured through your work, and you lived in the US, and you said, I don't, and they did a carbon monoxide test, you would pass it, which is the normal test for smokers. If they swabbed your mouth for this microorganism, you could fail, is what my point was. That's why this study exists.
Most insurers have or are in the process of updating their forms anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
For the whole
I'm on my forms. I'm a smoker, so because Brad's a wanker. But
I am a wanker. every day without fail.
Good man.
Send pics.
Right, that was that one.
Okay, what's the next one?
Next one's Scotch. So we're laughing. Oh, one thing I've just got to quickly say, an update from last Thursday, say that the Australian nicotine ban didn't actually come in. It was saved last minute, and they're on pause for 6 months. So people can import and export. Not import, they can import nicotine, which is good without a prescription, which is what is good for now. They're on hold. Last one. It's Scotch. Listen, look, what I can see his ears prick up. Oh, we're talking Scotcho.
Yep, go on.
Don't do that, Brad, because you fuck up the feed.
Be right.
That was my question. That's why I did it.
You idiot. Don't do it. Sorry.
Do what?
He just put a question to us on the screen. We're not supposed to message each other on this.
I think it's alright as long as it doesn't happen on my screen.
Get fucked. Okay. Scottish? Is it Scottish? I'm going to go with what I normally say. Scotch Health Chief urges retailers to stop shoppers smoking and vaping in outdoor queues over unproven COVID fears.
Jesus.
Scotland's chief medical officer is asking retailers to stop shoppers smoking or vaping in queues because the public worries that it might be a coronavirus risk. Dr. Gregor Smith, the interim CMO, the last one got fired because he couldn't. Did he get fired? He got gone, didn't he?
I can't remember.
He got booted.
Oh, she did, didn't she? Yeah, she went to her second home.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
Yeah, she couldn't
Twice.
keep away from a second home. Twice she did it. Anyway, so the interim CMO has put out a warning to retailers across Scotland, asking them to put out notices warning. Tesco's already done this, by the way. People not to light up or vape while waiting to get into the shops. Dr. Smith stressed there is no scientific evidence, so why do it, to suggest that the virus can be spread through smoke or vape drift. But he added in the For Action memo to all retailers sent to Scottish trade groups that it had been raised as a public concern over and above the fact that many people find passive inhaling of tobacco or vape drift unpleasant. The CMO was criticised by the smokers group Forest for fueling the unwarranted fears about smoking and vaping. Simon Clark, director of the group, said most smokers are considerate and use their common sense when lighting up outside shops or in queues. They don't need more nagging notices telling them how to behave. It might be mildly annoying to some people, but not only is there no evidence linking tobacco or e-cigarette vapor with the spread of COVID-19, there is no evidence that smoking or vaping in the open air poses any significant risk to other people's health. But I have seen those notices in Tesco's.
I haven't seen anyone lighting up in the queue.
I've vaped in the queue without a shit to
You're
give.
so ignorant,
Yeah,
John.
same.
I don't care. It's not. It's ridiculous. I'm
I'm
outside.
with John. I'm outside. You can fuck right.
I don't care. It's got nothing to do with you. Pop over. I'll have a chat. I've done it for 8 fucking years. I've got enough. I've got enough behind me. I don't care. But I just thought I'd bring that in as Scotch news.
Well, I'm glad the Scotch are coming up with some news that isn't independence.
Yeah, makes a nice change.
Yeah.
It's
got one of those ones.
It's definitely time to talk to Keith.
It definitely is. Definitely is.
100%.
Okay.
Are we going to start with the normal questions?
We have to start with the prerequisite.
Oh yeah,
The law is the
absolutely. Absolutely. Go on, John.
Okay. When did you start vaping, Keith?
Oh,
How long? You can go in years, or you can go with a year.
I originally started vaping in 2009 when
Fuck.
those little micro. It was a cartomizer with a little piece of
Wadding.
wadding,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah, with you used to drip the juice onto really horrible juice, and I vaped that for about a year.
Oh wow! What? And you didn't smoke?
Nope, didn't smoke. Just
Fuck.
used that. But the company, it was Smoky Joe's. It was a company called Smoky Joe's that was getting the batteries and the little atomizer and the filters from, and they got taken over, and I couldn't get my juice. I couldn't get the sort of resupply, so I went back to smoking. Yeah, I went back to smoking, and then round about 2000, Must be 2013. It was 2013. I started, or even 2012. I think it was Christmas 2012. Things started to pop up on YouTube, and I started watching the reviews. SV, Big Tom and Damien.
Yeah, bloody good vape and all that.
And I was trying to, because I knew you'd ask this question. Who was the guy? Worm
and Proton.
Yeah, Worm and Proton. Used to watch them all the time as well.
Yeah, I liked those guys.
They were good.
Of course,
I was subscribed.
And of course, I Get You 69. So I was still smoking at the time. I was just watching and getting into it, and it must have been 2013 because I started making mods 2014.
It's got to be 13, 14 because Damien and Tom didn't exist, and Proton and Worm were slightly later as well.
Must be 2013, 14. Yeah, it must be into 14. Yeah, because I was making my series boxes end of 2014.
Right.
And
you didn't sell them on eBay, did you?
What, my series boxes?
Yeah.
No.
Still trying to track down a series mod that I bought on eBay.
No, I didn't sell them on eBay.
So what was your device coming back?
Coming back, I went to Shrewsbury from Aberystwyth. Went to Shrewsbury, and it was totally wicked. And I started vaping a CE pod system, Ego Pen, and then watching Mark Todd's reviews. I managed to get a hold of K.
It's be weird because you can understand him without the subtitles.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I wish.
So my first proper one was a K-Fun 3.1 with the Nemesis.
Wow.
I used that for a long time.
Yeah.
And then I started to get sort of into with Big Tom and the crew, and that's when I started getting to mechs. So I was using mechs, 2600s, 2650s, my Nemesis, the Plume Veil. I think my first RDTA was a Plume Veil. Went on from there, and then I started to get into series box mods. A lot of people in the group started getting the boom box, the hex ohms.
Yeah.
And they were very expensive and way at my budget. And looking at them, I thought, I can make that. So I started speaking to Rick Grove, and I started speaking to Nigel around about late 2014. And that's when I started. This was my prototype series box. This is ancient. This is so old. I would never put batteries in it now. It would probably explode.
Oh, look, I reckon it still worked fine.
I used it to experiment with. Even got a voltmeter on the side of it.
I'm really glad you both named both those people, because Rick and Nigel, one of the things that people don't realise is you can just ask them shit and they'd just answer.
Yeah, really helpful.
I remember back in the day just kind of going, oh, I really want this, and it was a hell of a step up. Like with things like Nigel's mods, I wanted one, and it cost a lot of money. Like to me at the time, it was like, fuck, it's a lot of money.
Yeah, and around about Christmas time, 2014, what I did was I made a few of these, and I had a few friends in the West Midlands. Mags and I used to go to vape meets, West Midlands, Nottingham, Yorkshire, and I made some friends these, and one of the shops in the West Midlands asked me. They actually made an order, and I made 25 of these. Did
Wow.
25, yeah. So Rick was supplying me the parts. I was building these, and I think the shop still got them like 6 years later. Because series boxes went.
So in that era when you were vaping series, what RDAs were you putting on them? Because there wasn't a lot of airflow in those days.
I was using the Doge on this.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Doge version 1.
People forget about the Doge because it was like record breaking for what it was. It was crowdfunded in the get-go, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And then they were like 25 quid.
They had a little renaissance with the V3 about 18 months ago, 2 years ago.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
I don't know. I remember getting a Doge because I think I found it on Kickstarter or something like that and got one.
I think actually, I mentioned the Nemesis and the K-Fun, but do you remember Jim Shorrock and Golden Box?
Yep.
Yeah. Jim's one of my customers as well.
I still have my original Golden Box. That was my first high-end bit of kit that I ever bought.
Yeah.
And that's what gave me the passion for making my own sort of series boxes.
I miss Jim.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
People
his
like Jim, it's
crazy
like-
son.
It's people like Jim that you don't see when Vape Fest
Yeah.
finishes. You know, he was a great chat, a great to talk.
Yeah, brilliant guy, brilliant guy.
If you know Jim, said to us, Jim's still about. I talked to Jim via order forms because Jim buys liquid off me, and Alex, who was Shozza, the vaping Shozza, and then he did X reviews, and then he got busted doing X reviews because he's a teacher and his students found him, so they got rid of him.
Oh shit.
Yeah. But I started doing reviews around about sort of late 2014, 2015, just crap basically, just a lot of Chinese stuff, and it was on and off for just over the years because the job that I was doing, I was a ward manager at the time of an older adult acute mental health ward, so it was very difficult trying to get my time to do reviews, to build the mods. So
I like the fact you're apologetic for that. Right? There's a lot of people in chat right now who are going, "What the fuck?" Right? So what professionally, what Keith is so he was a ward manager. Go again.
I was ward manager of the acute mental health ward.
Right. So you don't need to do the apologetic tone for, and then I got home and time ran away from me.
Yeah.
You're okay, Keith. It's fine.
It was apologetic when you say that, and the first thing I think is, well, you must feel right at home amongst us.
It was one of the main reasons why I wanted to get into vaping. That was as a health professional, because many of my colleagues smoked, and of course I smoked myself. It was I think John had posted earlier on this week, when did we start smoking, when did we stop smoking. I didn't smoke until I was 17-year-old. When I started nursing, I had really bad asthma, and I started it was a 40-bedded male long-term mental health ward. Everybody smoked. The staff smoked, the patients
It's
smoked.
rife, isn't it, in healthcare?
Yeah. So first thing in the morning, patients would get up, you stick a cigarette in their face. But I was getting really bad asthma attacks, and it was the ward sister who said to me, "Keith, have a cigarette. That'll help your asthma." Yeah. Well, that was how I started smoking.
It's that thing, but Richard will. I think I think most of us here. I smoked when I was 12, but because I'm a terrible person. But I wouldn't have this delightful voice without hundreds and hundreds of Benson Hedges. But when I got into management, it was so strange to find anybody who worked in management who didn't smoke. Everybody smoked. If you didn't smoke, it was more of a signifier that you had a cocaine addiction. Like it was the only your two options were you were fucked up constantly, or you smoked, because nobody had time to eat. There's no eat. There's no time to eat. It's smoke. That was the thing. Like it was, insteed of a meal, you just smoked cigarettes. It just made loads more sense to do that. Sorry, Keith, back.
Sorry. So I kept doing reviews on and off, which I really enjoyed. And that was more like just a hobby and just getting out there and sort of just trying to promote vaping and doing bills. And it's just something I really enjoyed doing. But again, it was on and off just because of time and sort of work. And then I think it was late 2016. I went to Expo. I think it was October Expo I went to. I'd met up with Marksky, Elliot. And I saw the new Frankenskull, the new 2700 Frankenskull, and again very expensive. And I looked at it and I thought, I can make that. And what I did is I came back from Expo, I started researching into 3D printers and basically making my own squonk boxes. By sort of Christmas 2016 and 2017, I think it was 2017. I think Mags will know. Yeah.
He's in chat. I'll tell you.
17.
Yeah.
17.
17, yeah. And I started making my squonk boxes, my Morgantium 3D printed squonk boxes, but I wanted them to be the new battery. This new battery had come out, this 2700, and the 21700 was coming out, so I designed them so that they could take that specific battery. But I wanted it for myself. It was a series box as well. I wanted a series box for myself. I was just being selfish. I was basically being tight.
That's just exactly how. That's how everything works.
Yeah, that's how Rick says that.
Rick makes stuff for himself, and then
if you wouldn't vape it yourself, how would you expect to sell it? You know.
Yeah. It's exactly the same way I started. made something for myself. I made something for a mate, and everything went from there.
Because I sent Mark Todd one as a present. I sent him one of my squat boxes as a present just to say, thanks. And Mark had always been really supportive. Used to sort of pop up to Scotland and see him when I went with my parents. I just made one and sort of gave him it. And he I didn't want him to put it on his channel or show it, and he did. And I was like, oh no. But then the amount of people were like, well, and the difficult part for me was pricing it. Because people were asking if I would make one for them, and it was, how do you price it? And I mean, like with my series boxes were only £70 compared to the hundreds of pounds for the hex ohms and the boom boxes. I wanted them to be affordable, and I was being really honest, especially with the 3D printing. I knew how much the filament cost, I knew how much the copper cost, and all the parts that I got. So they were around about. So at first they were around about sort of 75. 80,
Oh, Mags is saying 2016.
The 16 was it? Oh, that's when I got the 3D printer. Yeah, 2016. But I started selling them 2017. And 2017, I remember I met up with Richard, Nigel, and Mark Todd at Vape Fest, and I had my Squonk box with me. I was so proud of it. I was like,
where was that? Which Vape Fest was that? 16?
2017, I think.
17. Oh, okay. That was like 17. A year after we got you, I think. Richard.
Yeah, it was 17. And because I'd met up with, I think I was hanging around with Stuart Drummond. I was with Stuart Drummond, and I'd met yourself, Nigel, and Richard. And I was so proud of this Swamp box, really proud of it. And I was bursting for the toilet. And I wanted to show it off. And this is first thing in the morning at Vape Fest. I ran to the toilet, and I had my mod in my pocket, sat down in the toilet, and the mod fell out, hit the concrete floor, and the plastic, it was ABS at the time, the plastic just shattered. So I had no Squonk box to show off.
Oh no.
But that was the day I decided to switch from ABS to PETG. So when I started selling them, it was PETG boxes because it was a bit more forgiving if you dropped them.
You weren't drunk enough, that's the thing.
No, I was completely...
They were brutal, those toilets at Vape Fest.
You should never be sober at Vape Fest.
No, at the Vape Fest in the toilets. Every time I got in there, every time I got to Vape Fest, I was like quite well behaved about walking around. I'm going to try and behave myself. And I bumped into Jim Shorrock, and he went, "Do you want a beer?" And I went, "Yeah." Okay, well, one. I mean, I'll just have a beer.
What's the harm?
Then it'd be fine. Walking along, I'd bump into Mary, and she'd go, "Oh, you're right there. Do you want to pop in the caravan? Here, I've got a couple of beers. Do you want a beer?" And I go, "What? What's 2 beers?" And then 17 beers later, I would leave. And that was Friday evening.
That was a Friday.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. I would just annihilate.
Yeah, Fridays were good.
From the second I get to Vape Fest, the thing was, we was meeting other people and kind of going, "Yeah, no, you need to pace yourself more than this, because this is a disaster." It makes more people.
It's when the sun's out.
Yeah, it's terrible. I'll be right back.
Okie dokie.
Okay.
Yes. So you've done it. You've kind of done it all. Is that so? The plan for the YouTube is just as and when you can, really, just at your own
It's
speed.
as and when I can. I got. Well, I know that probably not discussing the Rip Trippers thing, but I had a couple of companies actually offer to pay me. I won't name them, but there was 2 companies because I was heavily involved with Freemax when they first started. With the Scylla, remember the Scylla tank? Right about then, I was heavily involved with Freemax and Thunderhead Creations. Did a lot of reviews for them with the Taurens, the Tauren Max, the RDAs, the RDTAs. But just before Christmas, Snowwolf and Sigelia got in touch with me, and they sent me stuff, and they were like, "Yeah, we'll do reviews." And of course, then COVID-19 sort of kicked off, and it just went dead, went really quiet with them. Because I had the A-Fang, the K-Fang, the Mark Tank. I also got the Glory Pod, which was a stupid name. It's a really good pod system, the Glory. But yeah, so... And I wanted to do... I got a new camera set up. I mean, you probably saw the SVB review that I did.
Yeah.
I'm still not happy with that. I don't think I did Nigel justice, to be honest. I mean, I actually scripted that. That's the first time I'd ever scripted a review. And even scripting it, I was losing words, jumping. I thought, no, this is just... I should go back to doing it. So I'll probably take it down and do it again. But yeah, I've got other stuff.
Depends
that
who
I
you
need
talk to. Depends who depends who you talk to. Like me and Mark don't script them. If once we get to the point we feel we know it well enough, we feel we shouldn't have to, and we can just roll it off. And if you're not at that point yet, don't do it yet. But then like Dean, the vaping biker, he scripts his. He even storyboards his actual videos. So
Really?
yeah, he does the entire sort of thing, how he wants to play it out. But I mean, his videos are next level.
Yeah.
But his actual, what he wants to say about it, he does script out as well. So yeah, so it depends who you ask with all that kind of stuff. I'm just looking.
So hopefully, I've got the new camera, new setup. I've now got a separate recording device now because the microphone and the camera was just not up to it at all. So yeah, for the future, more reviews. I have got plans for mod making, but I want to, because the reason I stopped making 3D squawk mods was because the motherboard of my 3D printer basically packed up, and Wanghao refused to replace it, and were basically going to charge me the same price that I paid for the 3D printer. So I thought, nah, I'll just
replace the board. Yeah,
it's basically sitting outside to go to scrap. So I was looking more at resin in the future to see how that would go with sort of resin, sort of 3D. You could get more details.
Resin 3D printer or resin casting?
Resin 3D printer.
Talk to Mark White.
All right.
He's done resin printing, so have a word. And
hasn't Rick just started messing around with that as well?
I've also done some resin printing. Give me a shout.
And Brad. There's loads of information. Just do ask. There's that weird thing in the vaping community. Everybody thinks everybody's against each other. It's really not like that ever. No. You don't think that, but yeah, go ask. Mr. White definitely has got a penchant for resin printing.
Since you brought it up,
early stages when I was doing phobic modes, I had a range of resin buttons, which I was printing using a resin printer. Incredibly difficult, incredibly slow, but when I got the buttons right, they were amazing.
Yeah.
The fine edge control that you get with a decent resin printer and with fine tuning it can't be beat. We will discuss privately, but it has its pros and cons.
What were you going to say, Richard?
Since you brought it up, Keith, what did you make of Rip Tripper's retirement?
I mean, I think the man's just not very. I mean, I think he's more physically ill than he's making out to be.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think the man looks awful.
I'm going to agree. There's something under. It's fine. I don't mind being quoted on this. There's something underlying, and it's not prostatitis, which is a controversial thing anyway. I would be, and Reiki cures fuck all it doesn't do shit. So there's something else. I
think he's given us a story, and then I think there's something else in the background because the man doesn't look well at all. He has put a little bit more weight on because I think a few months ago he was terribly thin and emaciated looking, but I just think the man's just physically not very well. Badly.
Well, I think what upset me about the farewell video, so let's call it that to be nice. I think there was a lot of tarnishing with the same brush, which I thought, well. No, it depends. He took a whole new route on blame where he said he couldn't review anything that was original and new because those people weren't paying him. Well, there's lots of reviewers who don't get paid for those videos and do it anyway because it's new and innovative and does something. Richard being one, Mark being the other. There are more. that aren't getting that paid. There's various ways to make money. He named reviewers that I know. I don't want to go into it, but I will say he was incorrect about the way they make money. Certain reviewers that he named in the video that I'm not willing to, and claim they were being sponsored by X and Y when they weren't.
Well, some are.
Some are, but some aren't making their money that way. Some are making money in a consultancy way, which is a different thing entirely. I had a discussion with I don't think he'll care, so I'll say I'm not bothered. I was having a discussion with young Craig, who used to be a host on the Ideal Ohm Show. When we did the Ideal Ohm Show, I talked to him earlier, and he said he felt that Rip was Mr. Trippers was incredibly clever and knew how to get along in life, and I felt he was incredibly fluky, and it had fuck all to do with being clever. I stand by that. I think it's difficult when you get when it's demonetized the way it's been. I don't know where he lives, and it could be that it's now become impossible to carry on. But I thought he tarred everyone with the same brush, which wasn't fair.
I think, yeah, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying with that. I think, first of all, any vape reviewer on less than 100,000 subscribers is completely not on his radar at all.
No.
He might be quitting this week from vaping and vape reviewing, but he checked out of the vaping world maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah.
He's completely unaware of any reviewers of less than 100,000 subscribers.
As Mr. Bogan, I think, was the top comment on that latest video, which is something like, "Yeah, mate, you quit the community fucking years ago." I think is.
Yeah, well, okay, I didn't actually see that. It's a great comment, but he did do that. So any references he makes to any other reviewers, he's talking about the very top tier. 100,000 plus. I mean, I don't know how many there are. Maybe is there about 14 reviewers over 100,000 subscribers? Something like that. And he's literally only talking about them, really. It was a weak excuse. I think it was a weak excuse, the idea that he couldn't do a free one. Because it would be bad for other reviewers.
I thought it was unneeded. I just thought it was not needed.
Yeah, if he sees something that catches his eye, he should certainly do a free one.
Yeah.
And that's how it works. That's how it works. I mean, like Mike, Matt Cully, Nick, all these guys, if they see something that catches their eye, they will make a video for free.
Yeah.
Not a lot catches the eye these days, but yeah.
There's been some, but the thing is,
he could have absolutely done that. He could have absolutely done that.
But
I get a lot of it though. But fundamentally, do you have an issue with him getting paid anyway?
I don't give a shit.
I don't mind.
I didn't care at all. He got paid. I mean, the only reason
anybody who didn't think he did must be messed up. I don't understand that. What worries me, as
it's literally just how it works. It's just how people get paid like thousands just for one picture on Instagram.
I've got my analogy of this. If there was a girl, oh fuck it, that was sexist, so I won't say that. If there was a person who sang in the local pub every single Friday night and she got paid 500 quid and it was always packed, and she said, "I'm leaving this pub. I'm gonna go and hit the charts and I'm gonna go and make myself thingy," I would wish her luck, but I would also think it's never going to happen. And that's how I feel about Mr. Lip Trippers. Nobody's watching him for his amusing take on something. I think people like the general way the vape review goes, but if you were going to review a humidifier like that, I don't think anyone's going to watch it.
The genius or idiot argument with Vape Trippers has always gone on. I wouldn't go down either of those roads, but what I will say, he does have a very particular talent that he's used to the full on his YouTube career, which is that shamelessness. Not everyone is born with that ability to be completely shameless. It's very hard to, if you actually got a camera and tried to do his style of video, just to mimic him, you'd really struggle to not go red, to not.
My issue is
it's an ability to completely dismiss your own status for the benefit of the entertainment, and that really is a gift. That is a gift in a way, and that has really helped him.
Yeah,
Does it?
being a vape reviewer versus alternative category vape, alternative category YouTube, anything, I think it's quite difficult to transition from vaping to any YouTube alternative. The captive market you have, you transfer away, you're going to lose 90% of your active views.
Are you talking about his new career path?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's no
it's,
currency in
yeah.
your previous
That's what I was saying.
views
Is
to
it
what you
transferable?
think
No.
you're going to gain in your
There
that
are
change process.
very few channels in the history of YouTube that have changed direction successfully.
Yeah.
Is that how do you feel, Keith, about the change? Are you subscribed now?
I'm still subscribed, yeah.
Will you continue to be subscribed for dehumidifier reviews and?
I'm also subscribed for his. Did you ever watch his children's channel? On
Yeah,
YouTube?
he stopped that when it got demonetized.
Oh yeah, I just watched that for the what factor.
Well,
Yeah.
But again,
I
that's
got a
kind of
comment to
perfect
say about
example of
the
my
children's
point
one.
about there's a very particular skill set you need to be able to be super bloke on camera.
Yeah.
I genuinely
Sober.
mean that. It really is a special type of person to be able to do that.
It was odd to make the cartoon. You know the cartoon, the sort of sprite that was used.
Yes.
To not realise that doesn't look at all like you is quite an odd thing to do. There was about a 5 stone difference between Super Bloke the sprite and Super Bloke the action character. It was quite a weird thing to watch.
So yeah,
let's see what he does.
I wish him luck. I wouldn't put it past him because, like I say, he's a
I
special talent. But
I was going to say I wish
not
him
many
luck.
YouTube channels manage that transition.
Couldn't give a shiny fuck. I didn't watch you when you were a vape reviewer. I won't watch you now.
I mean, ultimately, I don't see how it's caused any. It's an interesting sort of talking point, but I don't see how it's caused a stir in the way it has really.
I think it annoyed people because it's not like the things that he stated are not true, like not 100% true for a lot of vape reviews.
And I would say, because there have been several videos about that video being made across the web.
Yeah.
What I will say is, don't believe everything you read or everything you see in terms of speculation about numbers and money and
money. Be very careful about
things like that. I know because he reviewed the Saver, so I know what his rate was, and it was way higher than what has been quoted in the press. So there we go. So yeah, I wouldn't believe everything you read.
Okay.
I didn't see this. John Malcolm was just put in chat, dying to find out why Twitch dumped him.
I didn't know Twitch dumped him.
Twitch dumped him, didn't they? I thought he was on Twitch.
There you go.
I think
He's tried several ventures along the way.
Twitch is a really difficult. If you fuck up, you're fucked. Like it's
they dump you left, right, and centre for.
Yeah, you've got to be very careful. They will just literally.
They dump you for good reasons, though. That's the difference.
Oh, they do. Yeah.
Good reasons, but they also.
But you're gone.
No second guessing. There's no chances. You're gone.
Yeah, but they don't just have some like weird policy like YouTube, and no one actually knows why they're getting.
Oh no, you get it. Yeah, you get it described
because you literally did something on camera that doesn't meet their guidelines.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't know. So wish him well. No big deal, really. I don't think any true hobbyist, serious vapor gave a monkeys about him anyway.
No, I didn't care.
His audience was completely different to say this audience.
Yeah. I did. Well, I know that there was a few people. I know there was a few people in the group who were quite. I made a joke the other day. There was a few people in the group quite annoyed, but it wasn't. It was like a really flippant offhand joke. I watch Rip when other people say, "Have you seen what Rip's done?" So that must be maximum twice a year I've ever seen anything he's ever done. I don't watch.
I'll remain subscribed because I want to see how the transition goes. I wonder how many views he'll get just out of pure curiosity each time.
I agree with what Mark Hodge said. Mark was saying that I was just saying the only reason I subscribed to Rip in the beginning was to watch the builds, because back in the early days it was his builds and the Wiccan, and that was
But even I wanted to. I've got to, just because Craig said this today as well when I was talking to him, and although that's true, and if what he was doing was worthy of your watching, for for me, when I'm not just kissing ass. Scott and Mark were the only two people who made any sense to what my hands would do, and so watching a guy from Dagenham, not Dagenham, fuck, he'll kill me. Watching a guy from Essex building stuff, and watching Scott do stuff. Scott speaks a language I understand, and Mark does too. Now, so Scott is a perfectionist and would do the shots. I mean, they're the cleanest shots ever. They're incredible. Especially, I vaped Genesis for so long and watched that. And then Mark, God bless you, Mark, if you ever see this back. Mark's thing was, if all the bits are there, it'll work. Which helps tremendously, because I just was like, oh, it's not going to work. So I've got a bit of that. So I'm a perfectionist when it comes to Genesis. I can do it without a problem from watching Scott, but I also know what will work from watching Mark. And I will go back to what Keith said earlier. The first time Mark ever mentioned me on camera, I nearly died. My friend sent me a link. Craig sent me a link. He said, skip to da-da-da-da-da-da, because he's going to talk about you. And I was like, no, it's not going to talk about me. That's mental. No one ever talk about me. It's really crazy. And he did. Scott went on holiday to Venice a few years ago, and he wasn't sure how to pack his bag to go on holiday, vaping wise. And he just sent me a message. Oh, fucking hell. Done it. What you do? Liquids in that. And for about 10 minutes, I was there going, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I get to 69 has asked me a vaping question. I am going to get this so right.
When I saw Mark with my mod, I was like, I was dancing around the bedroom. Oh my God, Mark! Yeah,
absolutely crazy. Yeah, we're gonna have to find out what Brad thinks of that mod.
Oh yeah, Brad, right, quickly as well. This is going to have to be a 2-minute review because we've got loads of new stuff to show.
Cool. It'll be a 1.5-minute long review because before I get onto that, I want to jump onto the top comment for the Rip Trippers review section of the show is from the most metal sounding viewer I've ever seen.
Okay.
Korgith. Not being true doesn't stop the news or the weatherman.
Yeah, that's you, Keith, isn't it?
No, that's not Keith.
Oh,
Keith is Keith in chat.
Doesn't what? Say the comment again.
Keith.
I missed it entirely.
Korgith
right
says not being true doesn't stop the news or the weatherman.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
I've never seen a weatherman get shit right.
No, it's true. That is just
Korgith is onto something.
I adore it when they tell you the weather a week in advance. Next Saturday it's going to be sunny. Fuck off. As if you know that.
Weatherman, you can't tell me what's going on outside right now.
We definitely haven't got time to talk about the weather.
And the lips are wet. But anyway, let's move on to the marsupial.
Marsupod.
No, it's not a marsupial.
It's the UL Marsupod.
UL Marsupod, thank you. Like someone in the show has to know what the fuck I'm on about. I was pleasantly surprised when opening this. Not because when I saw it, I thought, fuck, that's brilliant. But because instantly the gimmick of it sucked me in. Before I even put juice in it, I knew I loved it. This is cute from the side, but from the top there's a little slidey top that covers it.
That's cool.
It's yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's gimmicky cool to the point that Richard was 100% right in his review and his comment at the beginning of the show. John asked me straight away, build quality, what do I think? It's shit.
It was because I remember from
Yeah,
Richard's review.
the actual batch of it's shocking, isn't it? It's so plastic
It's
fantastic.
It feels crap in the hand. The Vapresso Extra, it is actually some form of metal. You can feel it's cheap shit metal, but it's metal. This is vacuum formed plastic, and where's my mic?
Oh, that's bad.
Oh, nice.
You can feel it in your
There's a battery in
hand.
there.
Yeah, it's got this incredibly budget, grainy, injection molded feel to it, where they've put in an effort, but I don't give a shit about that. Just make it out of the cheapest metal humanly possible, and it would be better than this. That being said, that's the size of the mod.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know it was that thin.
Yeah, the actual
It's
pod's tiny.
tiny.
Yeah, that comes out. I forgot that came out as well, actually.
That to me forgives.
So that's the charging pack.
Yeah.
This is the charging pack. This is 1,000 mAh. This is 150 mAh.
Right.
So on its own, this is dog shit. It's beyond, it's beneath entry level, but it buys you 2 hours, 2.5 hours of constant vaping. I made a point of, at the beginning of the show, making sure this was charged fully and vaping mostly this throughout the show. It's still going all right.
Yeah.
Anything beyond 2 hours for me, and this is dead. Or certainly below a level that I don't want to vape it anymore.
How's the mouth to lung action? Is it mouth to lung or is it a lung hit?
It's fucking close. It's not mouth to lung, but it is close. I will give it that. I'm at the point in vaping, I don't like anything that isn't mouth to lung or close enough to it.
Yeah.
If I'm popping out to the shops, it's nice because I have this tiny little thing in my pocket with my keys, and I don't know it's there. I don't have to take this thing with me.
Yeah. If you're back in an hour, it's a straight in the pocket thing, isn't it?
And the entire week, this has been what I've taken out with me, because I haven't left the house for long enough that this is a problem.
Yeah.
You can't.
So the lockdown pop the shops. This is your vape. Get back and bang it in the little.
I like the fact that as he started, he said this is a 1.5 minute review. I think we're all in about 5.
Well, I can't count.
You agree with me? The charge dock is a letdown.
Yeah, the quality of the charge dock is a letdown. For the weight of it, it shouldn't be this big.
No.
For the weight of it, it should be this big.
Yeah.
Why doesn't this pop out in the same way this does? I could then quite happily carry this, because this is 900 mAh. I could quite easily have this as a pop out and still have a small section, other than the fact that it's slightly smaller to carry. If I had the choice between these two, which thankfully I do, this is the winner still.
I like it. I like that. And that's where we should end. That's fantastic. 1.5 section.
We're in complete agreement on that mod, I think.
Before John takes over.
I'm not taking over. Richard is.
Before someone takes over. Jesus, I don't fucking know what's going on next.
Yeah, chill out, John.
Next week, we got a Fang.
Oh God, no.
We got a Fang.
Oh, you've got that as well, Keith, haven't you?
Yeah.
No spoilers.
Don't you dare! No spoilers.
No spoilers.
Oh.
But I tell you one thing. Those two things have got in common. I had high hopes for both the Marsupilami and the A-Fang. I am genuinely interested to see your take on that next time. New stuff. This is interesting.
What if you just say, Keith, if you've got you need to open YouTube and mute it to be able to see this.
Oh yeah, so Keith, we're going to be showing pictures of new stuff. You can either just nod along, or you can
I've got
load
my
up,
phone
load
set
up
up there.
YouTube. Oh,
Oh,
perfect,
good man,
perfect.
good man.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll stick it straight up. So we've got time for filler. The first thing I've only got about 8 things. The last thing, very exciting. I think it was a shed exclusive today. So very exciting.
Yeah, I
indeed.
did see that.
Oh, wow. Okay, so the first thing is the Aspire. This is this mod that's the Aspire Sunbox link up. It is literally about to come out this week. So they've really ramped up on Instagram with pictures of this. Looks like there's going to be a gunmetal, a black and a white version. It's modular in a way. Well, it's variable
Moves
battery
up.
sizes, if you get what I mean. It's a side by side. It looks the tits, in my opinion. And it's about to come out.
Sunbox have done something really brilliant in the last year, which is they've not made anything, which
Yeah.
is an advantage
Yeah,
because everything they make is shit and will burn your house down.
But
So
I think as
they don't
well,
make it.
I think what a classy response from Aspire to all these companies linking up arbitrarily with reviewers.
Instead of, because they could have just done it, they could have just made it, and they'd have had no affiliation, and people would have just bought it. I agree.
But it's so much classier to be linking up with Typhon and Sunbox than it is to
agree.
be some random reviewer, you know.
And you won't have to send your box back to Italy when it burns your house down.
Well, you
So
just throw it in
this
the bin and
is
get
good.
another.
Well, you can send the charred remains of your house.
Yeah,
Very
exactly. But they wouldn't take a notice anyway.
I think it looks cool. I'm very excited
like
to see if it's actually got a problem or if it's good.
I bet Mags is probably now sitting upstairs going, "Oh, that," because that was on my list of the mods I wanted for my birthday. It was one of them.
I like this. This is the one I like.
Although it's about to become a competitive scene, isn't it? Because like we saw last week, there's the college.
Yep.
From Dovpo. So we'll see which one is best. I don't know. I'm probably not getting either, but
So this is 18,350 up to 18,650.
yes, which is a nice touch.
Which
but,
would
I
go
mean,
by
come on.
assuming it would also do 18,490 and 18,500 if you've got them.
We don't know because it depends how that tube works.
Oh yeah, good point. Yeah.
There'll only be 2 sizes to the tube. The tube will have a split.
18,350. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I kind of thought in my head I'm an idiot. Yeah.
Plus, the new 18350s, the 10 amp ones, are better than any 18500. So it's kind of redundant.
Yeah, because they never bothered. Yeah. There's no fuck use.
The next thing is from vapegeek.co.uk. I don't know why this came up, but I didn't realise there was a pod scene on the market that actually has in it the DNA Go. So this pod system, the Avatar Go,
It's adjustable.
it literally has built in. It's got the DNA Go board in it. I didn't know a pod system had done that. So if you're a big fan of that, and I know a few people are, I know a few mod makers have started sticking them in a few fancy little mods and things. If you're a fan of that board, and you just want an out and about, try and track down one of these. Avatar Go. It features the Evolve DNA Go board.
I like that.
I kind of want to care, but I really don't.
I'm not. It's my memory of it, of the Go, was it's all sort of TC based, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not even that. It's the fact that who gives a shit? It's in a pod. It'll be wank. It'll be a piece of silica. Who cares?
Yeah, true. Anyway, iJoy are about to bring out a pod as well. This is it. It's called the Neptune, and it looks tiny. It looks pretty.
I like that.
Yes, it's very natty, isn't it? It's
Simple.
kind of
Yeah, I like that.
It's very Vape Jam 2018.
It's the kind of thing everyone had as a necklace in that era.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it might work instead
It
of
may
that.
work.
It might.
We
Very
don't
well
know
might.
for sure, but it may work. Anyway, they've just
I wanna
released the
know
first
if it-
pictures of that. So
If it's an MTL, it'll be good.
It looks very similar to that OFRF
yes, it does.
pod system.
Yes, it does. A
Very
slightly
similar
better
to that.
looking version.
Yeah.
But that one wasn't mouth to lung, so
No.
we'll see.
Let's see if this is.
Now, I'm not very up on my Lost Vape stuff, so forgive me if this is old news. But this is an upgraded or updated Quest, I believe. So this is the Lost Vape Quest updated. I think they've added the sort of faux leather. Oh no, in Lost Vape actually it could be real leather panel. They've repositioned the thing. It's got a USB Type C now as well. If this is old news, forgive me, but I think that is a new version of the Quest.
I don't. Yeah, it's a new version of the thing that it's trying to be.
Yeah.
Yes, and I believe they seem to be separating the Orion brand from the Lost Vape brand.
Oh, okay.
Because this was originally a Orion, wasn't it?
Why would you keep the? Why would you keep the collar?
I've still got mine.
I don't know.
It's a bastard.
I think it looks okay, and they were.
And it's Diddy. They've made it look big. It's only tiny.
That was silly. But I always thought they were one of the better AIOs. But there we go.
Yeah, it was.
Now, Dovpo are smashing it out of the park at the moment with their collaboration pieces with Signature Mods, with Bogan. However, when left to their own devices, the old Dovpo occasionally sneaks out. This week they've unleashed the Red Fighting Panda.
What?
And this is the latest thing from Dovpo.
Holy shit!
It's basically a hexo with a big panda on it. But I kind of
employ a bunch of college kids.
It kind of warmed my heart a bit seeing that, because Dovpo used to be properly mental as a mod making outfit. So I kind of like that.
I kind of want to hate it, but I know there is a market for that. For the
yes, who are we to judge?
Angry adult Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah, I don't know. It's fine. It's not for me, but it never was aimed at me. I'm a 39-year-old man. I didn't give a shit. Yeah. It's not for me.
If Kung Fu Panda was R-rated, that's what he'd look like.
Yeah.
I'm 21 years old enough to smoke, and I'm 23 years old enough to smoke because I'm old.
Fair play. If it didn't have a panda on, I'd be genuinely interested in the mod because I like my variable voltage. But there we go. That's Dovpo.
It's all right.
The final this is the final installment of what's going on with that RDA from that guy that designed the Goon. So this is the Rye. It is officially out now. I think they were held back by COVID. We were a bit excited because we love the Goon so much. But the blue-eyed Goon guy who designed the Goon has produced the Rye RDA. This is the last we'll show of it. It's out now if you know where to look. I don't know if it came out with much of a fanfare in the end, the way things panned out, but this is it, and I still think it will be a solid vape. It's a 2-post RDA, and it's very goony in its airflow and size and all that kind of style and stuff. So I think that'll be all right. That's the Rye. I haven't seen it over here.
I'll be interested to see when people start checking that, because I think that'll be great.
Yeah, I think it'll be a really solid cloud check.
Bad sign when the most interesting thing about your marketing material for your new RDA, RBA, mod, whatever, is the photography style. And I'm more intrigued about the style of photography than I am about the RDA.
Brad, it actually exists, which is difficult
now. It exists, which is
it's
nice.
Getting so much more difficult to tell whether something exists, and that exists. So I'm going to give them that.
I know what you mean though. This one is from Ultrona. This is Ultrona. This is the Sphinx.
But not last.
Again, it's not the last thing, and I'm not sure if it is. I'm not sure if it is new. But although Mike Vapes has just done a video for it, so it must be quite new. This is a DNA 75C dual 21700 stab wood mod.
I don't hate it.
Yes, it'll be very big though, John.
Yeah, it'll be a big beast. Yeah, that's going to be big with the 21700. Yeah,
that'll be very big mod.
That's actually a shipping crate.
So I see it. It's just called the Sphinx.
Yes.
I don't hate it.
Ultrona. This is what they do. They just make stab wood mods.
Could you imagine if they'd banged that out in 2017? They'd have made a fortune.
Yeah, blowing people's
I like the firing button position on the front. I quite like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hate it. Yeah, exactly. The wrong position would have been there or there. Yeah, there is fine. If it's a big mod.
No, I like Ultrona. But that's the thing. Oh, this one again. I'm really, really not up on my Vapors Cloud stuff, but this, we haven't shown it on the show, so we're showing it now. This is the Temple RDA from Vapors Cloud. I believe it's newish. It's newish, and again, it's another Cloud Sugar thing. Vapors Cloud have got a really good rep now in the cloudy scene for doing solid stuff, and this looks another solid RDA from them. Someone will tell me in chat it's old. We showed a teaser picture from Vaporesso for this previously. This is, we called it at the time their attempt at the Vinci. I think more and more companies now are incredibly aware, I don't know how exactly, but they seem to be very aware now of what has sold well.
Yes.
And what hasn't, and everyone seems to focus in on these things that are doing well. Like, how many pods do you see getting compared to the Caliburn these days?
Yeah.
And that's obviously, the Caliburn obviously did very well, and everyone seems to know it. I don't know how it works, but another one that did very, very, very well in sales was the Vinci from Vupu, and there's been a raft of mods that look like that. And like we said last week, this is their attempt at a Vinci, really, the Vaporesso attempt at a Vinci.
Is that USB-C as well? Is it?
Yes, it looks to be. I think, unless that's the
Yeah, it
airflow.
is.
Unless that's the airflow.
It says USB-C.
Oh
in the
yeah, on the
description.
left, yeah, 800 mAh as well, which is quite sizable.
It'll
for-
charge in a flash, 800.
Yes. It'll
Please.
probably be quite good, but too little, too late, isn't it? If you're always copying, you're always behind, aren't you?
You are. Yeah. Well, there was always the argument we had with as a Scotch reviewer, who would always say very daft things, but you can't copy what doesn't exist. So you'll always be behind.
I like the idea of an adjustable airflow in a pod system.
Yeah,
But,
but it's so difficult to bother with, and it's
The genius of the Vinci was it was square, and that allowed them to have the various options.
yeah, and it for me as a true 0.8 sort of mouth-along vapor, it didn't work. But
No. This is the big one, though. This is the big one. Announced on the shed today.
Boom.
Todd's group. This is a big deal. It was announced on the shed. Official exclusive release on the shed today. It's the Haku Endava.
Endeavour.
Is that how we're pronouncing it? It's got to be, I think. It's a modular stackable vape tube by the Haku people. Obviously,
Yeah, I saw that picture earlier.
yeah, obviously very well known people in the scene, and this is their latest conjuring, the Endeavour. So you can have it how you like, and that's what it looks like with their RDTA on top.
And it's got a drop-in regulator.
Yes, a kick if you like.
Yeah, it is a kick. I mean, it's a kick.
Very interesting to see how that plays out. I think personally, I loved a modular thing and that, but I think first and foremost it's got to look good. It looks weird.
It does look weird.
That's
does
my
look
first
stunky.
impression. That's just my first impression.
I'd
it'll
be
probably
interested.
turn out to be bloody amazing. I'm sure
I
it
want
will.
to see it in hand, and a kick. I had a kick and a kick V2 as well. The kick V1, I burnt 3 of them out, and I got a kick V2 because it had reverse protection. Yeah, let's find out.
Yep.
That's-
Has anyone got anything else we need to say?
I've got a quick one just to
Go on then.
say the next. This is just ethnic news. Thank you so much for the incredible response to Crack. I'm not doing filler right now. I am. The Cracks absolutely smashed the fucking doors in, and then Pistache, Nata, Frambosa did exactly the same again, and it's been absolutely crazy at just at Nick headquarters. If you're waiting, it's coming, I promise. And I will make sure that I've got a clear screen tomorrow, which will be the first time in a fortnight. So before I leave tomorrow, there'll be a clear screen. The loyalty shown through the lockdown has been ridiculous. I just want to thank everybody for being so nice. I'll do a giveaway on Monday of some stuff that has just come in, and the next thing landing at Just Ethnic headquarters will be cannoli, and it will include the new cannoli graham cracker. Me and John Nathan, who is the biggest cunt in vaping. But I will make sure that we get that out and to you before anybody else has got any chance in the UK. We will get the newest liquids from them to you, because that's what we do. Yeah, that's what I've got. How's work, Keith?
Can I just, when Brad was mentioning earlier that he's put the cotton into his pod system so he can vape in meetings. I was in a MDT meeting about 6 weeks ago and was doing it from my laptop at home. And I'd completely, my vape was sitting next to me. I had my mech. I had a 0.15 build in it, and I was just completely oblivious. And I was in the meeting. It was going on for about 2 hours. I thought, it was an automatic. I just picked it up and I went, and 12 people on Skype Business went, "What was that?" And my boss is sitting just like, "What are you doing? Just what?" I'm like, "Sorry. Oops."
How's it?
I feel you 100%, Keith. I can sit in a normal meeting all day without even thinking about vaping, but sitting at my desk where I vape freely all day with everything in front of me, and then psychologically being in a position where I know I'm not allowed to do it, all I want to do is do it.
Yep. I'm usually very good, but I completely forgot and just picked it up and...
I want to flash back just very briefly. It's nothing. No,
How did we get into this? What have I missed?
Oh, nothing. I just said just had an update and said the next thing we're going to do. I thanked everybody for their tremendous loyalty all the way through, and said we've been rushed off our feet.
Yeah,
It's been absolutely crazy. And and that was it. And then I said the next thing we're going to do is cannoli, and then the last thing we're going to say is bugger all the claps and everything else. I just want to say that I know what you do for a living, Keith, and I know you work for the NHS, and I know this has been an incredibly difficult time. And I just want to say thank you properly from everybody who's got a fucking brain in the UK. What you do is more than appreciated. You are incredible. Thank you.
Yeah.
So much for everything.
Yeah, we use the term proper job sometimes jokingly, but you, sir, have a proper job.
I haven't.
No, you haven't.
You've kept us going through the lockdown because you've been the easiest person to get juice from.
Yeah, bollocks to that. I won't accept that. Honestly, I see the other side of it. My wife does. My wife works for the NHS, and I know what you guys do, and it's been very hard. And it's been incredible. And a big shout out what a twat.
Yeah, big shout out. It's Sally's birthday tomorrow. She's Queen, Bohemian Rhapsody. Shout out
to all the families of people who work for people in the NHS as well. So people like Max as well. There's the strain on every single part of people's lives has been so huge.
I must admit, when the virus hit and we were told from a health board what was happening, I was terrified.
Yeah.
I was absolutely terrified because we were told we had this whole, what they call, a major event. And I've been nursing for 31 years. And major event, as a nurse, it's always drummed into you. This could happen, this could happen. You think, never is. This year, you think in your late 40s, you're not going to end up in the front line. Thankfully, as a mental health nurse, I wasn't. But, we were still supporting people, still helping people through a very difficult time in our service. But it was terrible when it first kicked off. Terrifying.
Don't kid yourself, because it can, like the amount of people I know who work in the health service, and we know it moves so fast. And if it gets on your ward, it's incredible. Yeah. If you've got one, you've got six. Like it's that quick. And fuck people, fuck the clapping and the banging of pans. Real people really appreciate what you do every single day. Not what I do. I just sting out eating. And it's only 100 yards away. It's fine. It's easy.
Obviously, check out Morgantium Vapes.
I'll stick the link.
In fact, have you done it? Have you put a link?
I'll do it now. I'll do it right this
I'll do it
second.
now.
That means I need to do more videos. Come on.
Come on, get them out. Get them out.
Still do it at your own speed. That's the beauty of YouTube. People really do forget. That is the point of YouTube. You literally, people are just sat there, and you can just do it whenever you want.
Must admit, it's been a pleasure tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much
for coming on.
Great.
It was an easy one. Richard said, "Should we have Keith on?" I said, "Definitely."
Oh, I can't bastard find it now. What am I doing?
I'll do it. Right, go. Let's go. Let's lock down the show. Everyone's already saying goodbye.
Oh, I tell you what we'll do. A nice big reminder to everyone on the group. Morgantium Vapes. Check it out. I'll put in a search for SVB mod because not that many people that have done a review of an SVB mod. So you'll find his straight away on there. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. Cheers for coming on, Keith. Really good to see you.
Thank you.
Back on cam. And we'll see you next week, probably.
Yes, we'll be back.
Yeah.
See you later.
See you. Bye.
One more beer to drink.